I do not want to keep our troops in Iraq a minute longer than necessary to secure our interests there. Our goal, my goal, is an Iraq that no longer needs American troops. And I believe we can achieve that goal perhaps sooner than many imagine. But I also believe that the promise of withdrawal of our forces, regardless of the consequences, would constitute a failure of political and moral leadership. Again, news report said that Prime Minister al-Maliki, suffice to say, it was a disappointment.
It was, although it is not over yet, Senator. In fact, subsequent to the early days, they then took control of the security at the different ports. They continued to carry out targeted raids. The operation is still very much ongoing, and it is by no means over.
Before I ask you any questions, I just want to respond to some of the statements and suggestions that have been made leading up to this hearing and even during it, that it is irresponsible or demonstrates a lack of leadership to advocate withdrawing troops from Iraq in a responsible and carefully planned withdrawal. I fundamentally disagree. Rather, I think it could be fair to say that it might well be irresponsible to continue the policy that has not produced the results that have been promised time and time again. Yet each time, Iraqi leaders fail to deliver. The conditions are unclear, they certainly lack specificity, and the decision points with respect to these conditions are also vague. So how are we to judge, General Petraeus, what the conditions are or should be and the actions that you and the administration would recommend pursuing based on them?
And it's not a mathematical exercise. There's not an equation in which you have coefficients in front of each of these factors. It's not as mechanical as that. At the end of the day, it really involves commanders sitting down also with their Iraqi counterparts and leaders in a particular area and assessing where it is that you can reduce your forces so that you can, again, make a recommendation to make further reductions in establishing where the conditions are met to make further reductions.